Hello, friends. I am Monica Nagpal from Hope and Happiness, and it is my mission to help each person tap into their inherent potential of being happy and hopeful, and thus lead a fulfilled and meaningful life. In the current series, From Ordinary to Exemplary, I am speaking to women who have become exemplary by tapping into their feminine power. And today I welcome Deepti Khochar. Welcome, Deepti.
Hello.
So,
Hello.
yeah,
So glad that you invited me for your interview. I'm so glad. It's something which is very close to my heart. That the happiness and the hope, these kind of things are very close to me. So yeah, I'm so glad that you invited me.
wonderful, Deepti. So nice to hear that. So, I will give a very brief introduction of Deepti and then she will just pour in. So, Deepti is a food blogger by passion and a former biology teacher. And she was very intrigued by Indian food wisdom, which has led to a creative pursuit of a blog called Good Food Diary 7. I don't know why this is just 7, and she will tell us all that. And she wants to bring forth and discuss the importance of nourishment provided by home cooked food on bigger and wider arenas. And believe me, beautiful things she's making, and I cannot even smell it because the pictures are on the Instagram, so we cannot taste it and we cannot smell it. But she encourages all of us to really make those, and those come out really very well. So, Deepti, please tell us about yourself.
So actually, you would be surprised to know that there was a time, and only about 5 to 6 years back, when I always knew how to cook, but I never loved to cook. So going to the kitchen was the last thing, and I was working also in school. Also, I've been teaching for almost 12 to 13 years. So I used to think, why would a woman always stay inside the kitchen? I mean, that was my thought process at that time, and this passion for cooking, for home cooked food developed when I went for a surgery. Actually, I had a surgery, my eye surgery. My retina got detached, and I had to undergo a rigorous diet of steroids for about more than a month, and really played havoc with my entire physiology. And at that time, because obviously I'd put on weight and my hair was falling and all those kind of things were happening to me. So I approached one dietitian, and she gave me a diet plan for about a month. I followed that and I lost weight also because of that. But during that time, having a kind of a fat diet of proteins, that kept me thinking, what is all going on? So that was the time when I really went inside the entire concept of eating, food, wisdom, everything, and things changed for me from that.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that was a great transformation.
Yeah.
So more about how did you really, you were teaching so nicely and you were a very loud teacher, as you have always told me. So how did this change came? You had your own boutique also, which I remember. You had a boutique also. And so how did this change came about? What was the reason to bring about this kind of a change?
So basically, when I decided to leave my job, they were mainly the real reasons were I wanted to spend time with my son, who was in class 4th or 3rd or 4th at that time. Though everyone around criticized me and advised me that now he is still grown up, so he doesn't require you that much, and you're in school only, so both you have the same timing, But what I wanted was that no, that I know that we could have adjusted that time, but the time which I wanted with him was the holidays, the Saturdays, which when he's alone at home and I'm also there, and we could plan up things and we could enjoy things. And another reason was that my husband has a very demanding job, so I also wanted that, because we couldn't get time together. 3 of us were not able to do what we really wanted to do as a family. So one very basic reason was this only.
Right.
But you will be surprised to know that when I left my job, and when I actually started being at home and probably not doing anything after so many years, that let my creative instincts open up more. So those things actually came out. I was always creative from inside, from my childhood, but because I was studying science and I was a biology teacher, so everything changed for me. I became more of a scientific person after that. But then when I left my job, I understood that doing nothing for some time really enriches you from inside. You tend to come out with a different perspective in the life. And always being in a mechanized kind of a form that, you have to get up in the morning, you have to do this after this. So always remaining in that form does not bring out those juices, if you say biologically, from inside, that you don't think differently. So that was one thing that I started thinking differently, and that led to the boutique because of that. And after that, maybe you don't know, I had a painting trading business also. So this painting is result of that also. So I went for that also. So that creative pursuits kept on going on. And then this thing happened. So this is also a kind of creativity, plus my teaching is also there, because I really want people to, follow those diets which the wisdom which we had from our dadi, nani, mummy. They all had so much of wisdom. So those diets should be followed by the next generations also. So this entire transformation brought me to this thing.
Actually, so very beautifully said that doing nothing actually does so much to us. Internally, it really brings out so much from us when we are not doing anything, and we think that doing nothing is simply waste of time, and we keep on thinking on those lines only. But actually that is when we really, and actually the feminine energy is really brought out when you are at that stage.
So capacities you have, you tend to lose out on those capacities to adjust to a working environment world where you need to reach to a time. You have a timetable, you have certain patterns to follow. So you just keep following those patterns during that time. You just stop thinking that what I am actually, I may have some very beautiful potentials also. So those potentials came out of this thing.
Wonderful, very beautifully said, Deepti.
Thank you.
I would like to understand also, so what was your actually learnings from these experiences? Like you really came out as a mother, a wife, you were really working from your feminine energies at that time. So what were your learnings from there actually? What did you really learn from those experiences?
If I have to put my entire experiences into one sentence, if I have to do that, so I would say that be you, the world will adjust. So I think I tried to adjust to different people and different environment with their different demands, their different energies, their different requirements. I did that. But the moment I did not do that, the entire what I had done vanished. So this is what I have experienced throughout this life. Whatever I have learned is that whatever you may do for the people around you, for the environment around you, for the circumstances around you, ultimately the day when you can't do that, or you are not able to, you don't want to do, whatever the case is, the things change. The other things, so it's better that this is what I am, accept me or don't accept me, but I am like this, I'll go about the things like this. And eventually I have realized that everyone around you will adjust to what you are. So if you are you, that is your power and that is your uniqueness. This is what I have always learned, and now I've been teaching this thing throughout to my son also. Say, just be you. We can't, be everyone else around us.
Very wonderfully said. So this brings a very great learning actually for all of us also as women, that we have to be our authentic self.
Yeah, correct.
Becoming something. We have to be, not become.
Yeah.
That is the important thing which we have to understand out of what Deepti has very nicely said in just one sentence. So again, Deepti, I will come around and ask you one more question, which is regarding now we all know that how in so many countries where women were leading the countries, the corona thing has been tackled in a very better way. So how do you think that as a feminine energy which we have, so it cannot be feminine energy is only part of a female, it could be a part of a male person also. It doesn't link to any gender. But important thing is that how now you think that you have that strength in you, that feminine energy which you have in you, which you will be able to take forward, and it will keep you afloat in any circumstances which you face in the times to come. What is that one energy?
I feel that kind of instinct that a female has, that instinct may not be explainable, may not be understandable to everyone, and at that time, but that kind of instinct, intuitiveness, that intuitiveness to a certain circumstance around you or to a certain situation around you, that I think keeps one person afloat during any kind of conditions, happy, sad, or any kind of conditions, that intuitiveness behind you. And you can, I don't know, I always feel that many times I see something which no one is seeing. That intuitiveness that comes from me, from inside, and if I stick to that, end of the day, everyone also feels that you are right. This thing was right. So I don't, and that brings me back to the same thing. Be you. What you feel. If you feel for something, if you feel that this is right, it is right. So it will come out right. If you feel this is wrong, something somewhere is wrong, then might you lead to that only. So that intuitiveness is, I think, that instinct, kind of a gut feeling that is there, that is female feeling is there. So that helps to keep one afloat during all conditions.
Right. So I read somewhere that we don't have just one brain, but we have three brains. So one brain is, we all know the brain which is in our head, and there is a brain in our heart, and then there is a brain in our gut.
Correct.
So that's why we say we have a gut feeling, and we say that we have something in our heart says that this is not right or this is not wrong. So that is the kind of heart which actually, or the brain which the feminine energy uses.
Correct.
The brain which is in the head is used by the masculine energy, but the brain which is there in the heart and the gut is used by the female energy or the feminine energy.
Correct.
So that is why that intuitiveness which you are talking about really comes true there, because we are thinking from the heart. And it is not about thinking. Actually, thinking is again a very masculine kind, because it is coming from the head brain. But it is all about feeling. So you start to feel. So anything which is below your neck is more of feminine, and when you go above your neck, that is more of a masculine. So we
always get those comments. तुम सोचते बहुत हो, तू सोचती बहुत है. So, but that सोच, what you call सोच, is actually you thinking from your heart, probably feeling from your heart or gut, as you were saying.
So we try to actually feel something. So it is not about thinking only, we start to feel. So that feeling aspect is coming from your feminine energy, which you are very wisely you are saying, and that you want to be yourself. So that is the greatest learning for anybody, that we have to be ourselves. So this is a very good message for all the women out there. But still, I would like you to share something about your blog, and how do you think that you are really going to give a message to all the other females who may think that doing nothing, they are wasting their time, or probably they are losing their self-esteem, or probably they will not be respected or loved if they are doing nothing in their house. So anything for those kind of women?
See, I always feel there is no female who does nothing. Simply, it's as simple as that. You leave a house without a female only for few hours, not even a complete day, and you will know what exactly I mean. I mean, you will get the thing. So it is never that a female who does nothing. Even if one is not doing anything per se, the kind of atmosphere that has been created, that first a person meets you, will ask you, "आप क्या करते हो?" आपका profession क्या है? And you know, when I am not doing anything, even if I was not doing food blogging, I'll tell you what is the difference now. Even if when I was not doing it, and I would say that मैं घर पे रहती हूँ, so that kind of a thing would like, अच्छा, you know, you are just staying at home. Stay at home is again a complete work for a person who's staying at home, because you're not doing what other person is doing. The other person who's going out and working and doing those things, he will not do things that you are doing, because he will not have time to do that. But he can go out comfortably, spend those many hours outside, is because at the background somebody is taking care of the other thing. So that's also a work at the background that's being held. So I always called at that time myself that I'm a facility manager. Like, I'm providing facility to everyone who's living in this house. So it's a work there also. So you cannot say that I am not working. So I think this should be thrown out of the window, that this sentence that I am not working. I am always working, whether I'm going to an office to work or I'm sitting at home and working. You know, I'm at home and I'm working. Secondly, in this world of internet, the kind of interactions that we have, anyone of any age can do anything. Be a child of 10-year-old, you know, and a person who's 60-year-old. And we know, we have so many examples around us that at this age, we can do. It's just that it's a matter of starting for a thing and just understanding again from your inside that what actually gives you kind of happiness to do. And it can be anything, creatively, or you know, any kind of a thing anyone can do. So I believe that even working at home and not working or doing something is fine. I mean, that should not be considered that you're not doing something. But supposedly you have an urge to, besides doing your household work, you have an urge, or you have more time with you, so you want to put your energies into something. So go for the internet, you know, find out what is for you there. Just browse, just see the things around. Find out what people are doing, and just don't be other person, but you will find something out of it. So you will find that what you like, what actually, you know, you enjoy doing it. So this is a happy world actually. It's a happy world for everyone. You don't need anyone when you have this world around you. So you're happy with that thing. So I think at any age one can do anything that one wants to do.
Absolutely.
Need a spirit for that.
Thank you so much, Deepti. It was really nice of you to say that we can start at any time. There's no thing we cannot start at any time. And as a woman, even if you are not a working woman, if you are a homemaker, we should understand that homemaker is why we are calling it is not a housewife, it is a homemaker. So when you are making a home, it is a home. Otherwise, it is just a house. Just 4 walls and probably a ceiling at the top of it. So it is only a house. But a woman or a female energy, it is a feminine energy actually. Maybe it is from the husband or the wife, but it is the feminine energy which is making it a beautiful, beautiful home. So this is how we are going to go forward, and we are going to launch a program from Hope and Happiness which is called Devi. It is called Dynamic Emergence of Your Visionary Intuitiveness. So this is the Devi which is going to emerge in Navratras, and we are going to launch a program in Navratras where we will be helping all the women out there to really start to work from their feminine energy, to really accept and reclaim their feminine energy, and to understand that this is their strength, that your own feminine energy is your strength. So yes, all of you, come join us. This is kind of a sisterhood. Let us be together in this and help and support each other grow. Thank you so much, Deepti. It was really wonderful having you on board here. And Namaste. Thank you so much.